DJ C. Smith, boy.
YouTube, what up, C. Smith? I just want to talk to you real quick about, talking on the microphone, emceeing during, weddings and different events or whatnot. Because it seems like a lot of y'all guys, man, got a little quiet on the microphone. And, yeah, there's a such thing as talking too much. Some of your favorite DJs on here, they do a little talking too much. You don't want to make the show about you. You know what I mean? You want to, kind of entertain the crowd or whatnot, but you don't want to make it, like you just being boisterous and it's all about you or whatnot. Man, when I first started talking on the microphone, man, please, refuse to do it. Too shy to do it. I talk to you face to face, but on that microphone, it's a whole nother animal when you're addressing, hundreds of people or whatnot. But what I learned, and this could probably work for some of y'all that kind of share those same feelings or whatnot. When I talk on the microphone, I don't make eye contact with anybody in the room. I scan the room like all right, my bad, I got a phone call. Anyway, so I don't make eye contact with anybody when I'm talking on the microphone. You ever shoot a gun or have any formal gun training, and with handguns or even long guns, when you aim in that weapon, you stare at the front sight. You don't stare at the actual target. The target should look blurry when you're shooting that weapon. Same thing with emceeing. Gosh. Same thing with emceeing and talking on the mic. The target, your audience, should look blurry. Just scan around, don't make eye contact, because if you do, you might catch that one person that's kind of staring at you like, and then that'll just mess up your whole little speech or, whatever you're trying to do. So don't make eye contact. Just kind of scan, back and forth while you're talking, or you can pick an object in the back of the room to kind of focus on, not a person, an object. Focus on that while you're talking. That way you're not distracted by the actual looks that people are giving you. And then two, when you're talking on the microphone, you kind of you have to have two distinguished sounds, right? You have your normal voice, your regular conversation, everyday voice, and then you should have a microphone voice. They shouldn't be the same, because your normal voice, unless you just have one of those real incredible, just projected voices that, that just catches people's attention every time you talk, then fine. But if you got a voice like mine, a monotone, whatever, then you kind of want to develop your own voice for the microphone. Like hearing me talking now, and if y'all watch my videos, y'all probably like, I don't really sound like you. It ain't supposed to sound like me. You know what I mean? I don't walk around every day as DJ C. Smith. I'm Corey Smith during the day. You know what I mean? But once I get behind, that microphone and then the system or whatnot, then, you become a whole nother person. And that's how it should be. And then your voice, again, it should be distinguished from your typical voice, and it should be a bit more elevated. You know what I mean? A bit more treble in it, because as an MC, you're trying to build the energy in the room, right, with your voice. No music, you're talking, you're trying to get people to buy into what you're saying. You know what I mean? If you tell them to clap, then your voice should reflect exactly what you're trying to get them to do. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be, okay, everybody, I need y'all to clap, because then you probably get a lackluster, response. Yeah, so it's two things. Don't focus, use a different voice. Practice at home. Don't practice, just stand in the mirror looking at yourself, because, again, you'll probably see the dumb faces you make, and it'll probably discourage you from doing it. But practice, with the microphone, plug into a speaker. Practice scanning around the room. Find the lamp. All right, there's a crowd there, but I'm focused on that lamp in the back of the room. But it still makes it look like you're probably looking at somebody, but you're really not. You know what I mean? When you scan the room, it makes it seem like you're addressing everybody, but you're really not addressing anyone in particular, because you're not even, catching anyone's eye or focusing on anyone in particular. So, but don't be shy, man. Don't be scared to, to get on the microphone and interact. During songs, like what I like to do during some songs, man. When I want the crowd to repeat some words of a song, I'll say the words right before the words I want them to repeat, right? Like let me see. That DMX song, y'all gonna make me lose my mind, up in here, up in. So if I want them to say the up in here, I'll get on the microphone and I'll say that, y'all gonna make me lose my mind, then I'll cut it. You know what I mean? I'll build that up, let them feel that energy I'm trying to bring, and most every time it works, they feel it and they repeat it. You know what I mean? And they love when you cut the music and let them repeat it. It's like a, man, some kind of feeling or some kind of rush, and it feels even better to you as the DJ when you cut the music and let the crowd recite the words, and then you bring it right back in on time. It's the greatest feeling ever, and that's something that you can practice at home. You can't do it with every song, you know what I mean? You kind of gotta, know your way around a few songs and songs that that's gonna get people going or whatnot. Songs that people typically know all the words of the hook, or even sometimes the actual verse itself. But yeah, just play with it at home a little bit. Play with some songs, play with a few different voices, and find that niche, and get the party a bit more hyper than they would typically be. You know what I mean? You'll be amazed by how much your voice can change the attitude, the excitement, of the party. Because a lot of videos on here, man, it's weddings, no intros, just dead silence throughout the whole event, and I'll just assume that you're scared to either one, talk on the microphone, or you're ashamed of how you sound on the microphone. Don't be scared, man. Don't be shy and don't be ashamed. Experiment. Practice. You know what I mean? Until you, like I said, find that niche. Find what tone sounds right for you. Find what tone really goes over well with the crowd, and then stick with it and roll with it. Build on it. Have you a few little quotables in your pocket, like I like to say, hey. And then here recently I've been throwing in, sounds stupid when we just saying it to you on camera like this, but in the build of certain songs, and hey, you know what I'm saying? The crowd start repeating it, and you know what I mean? It gets them more into it, and I tell you, man, makes your life much easier. But anyway, don't be shy on that microphone. Get it? I mean, and some people, you might have to, if you drink, take a little sip, take the edge off. You know what I mean? Don't get drunk and just start, saying some everything and talking all through songs and walking around the dance floor with the microphone like you in a rap concert or something. But just a few tips. Take it or leave it. I can care less. I'm just saying. A lot of y'all videos are boring, dead boring, man. Just trying to hype them up a little bit. Scumbags.